think the last time we spoke was at CES, which was several months, at CES earlier this year, which was several months after the acquisition of Clipped by Xandr. In the period of time since then, Clipped has become part of the Xandr family. Clipped represents the TV assets, the traditional TV assets and advertising technology within Xandr, and we're really bringing together the leading digital pieces that came from AppNexus, along with the TV ad tech from Clipped, using the data that we have within our family from AT&T, and really bringing this all together to drive value across both flavors of TV, which is digital and traditional TV, as well as for driving value for buyers and media owners.
So tell us how the buying, has changed, how linear buying has changed, and what's kind of creating that change, and the role of Xandr there.
So Andy, in recent years, there's been certain concepts that have come to TV in the form of data and automation and the ways in which content is distributed. So sort of going down that list, data-driven advertising is something, as you know, is something that Clipped has focused on from the beginning, from the beginning of our existence. And frankly, the use of data in TV is not a new concept. We didn't invent that, but it wasn't being used really closely with the use of software. And as software and data are coming together, this has been what's defined digital advertising and the platforms that exist in the digital world. But this has made its way into TV over the last 5 or 6 years, and this is something that sales teams within the media the television media companies are taking advantage of, and we're seeing lots of investments from data platforms, from advertising technology platforms, and even individual efforts within these networks and agencies. This also happens through automation, which automation is one of these not terribly flashy things, but really critical to enable scale. This is a $70 billion market that is changing every day in different ways. And the only way this really moves beyond test budgets, which it has over the last several years, is with automation and allowing for things like sharing data across the organization. Within a media company, they have planning teams, pricing teams, sales, and support, and sharing with clients. And it's really necessary to have automation to make that happen. Challenge with that is that TV lacks some of the industry standards that are ubiquitous in the digital world. So a lot of those things have started to come together over the last few years. And probably the most important change to television, and I won't just qualify this as linear TV, where linear TV is a piece of this, but which is changing television, is convergence. And this comes to the ways in which we all as consumers, and we're certainly are receiving content, and the ways that media companies are distributing. And we're seeing this with the pandemic, where we are signing up for new streaming services. We're receiving content in different ways. But really, this concept is not like a revolution. This is an evolution. This has been going on. Now we're just starting to see the hockey stick appear. So I think it's those three things that are really changing the way that TV works, and frankly, these are creating opportunities that the industry is taking advantage of in different ways.
So Jason, could you just explain what those opportunities are for the buyers and the sellers working, specifically with the Xandr platform?
Sure. So a key piece of bringing these pieces together is to innovate and drive value to these companies. At the end of the day, each of these types of companies, whether it's networks or clients direct or agencies, are looking to drive value either for their own business or for their clients. So if you think about a media company, they're looking to maximize their yield, and that's the reason they have an advertising sales business. They're also looking to be able to take advantage of their entire portfolio of content, which is now being delivered across different channels, including a certain channel on your within your cable provider, as well as through AVOD and SVOD, and being able to take advantage of all of those and sell inventory across all of those, even though the plumbing and the business models and the pricing are different. For clients and agencies, it's really about driving business outcomes. Business outcomes may mean reaching a particular audience, an audience that goes beyond demography. Let's say the local coffee shop wants to reach iced coffee drinkers, or reach those that buy their daily tea at a competitor, and being able to use that data at scale with in the way in which they plan, buy, and measure their media. And that's really what all of these parties are looking for. And in order to do this, technology is needed. Technology is needed to integrate data. Technology is needed to make decisions on what media to buy or not buy. So now, as you start to pull all of these pieces together, media owners, media buyers, advertising technology, and data, this is where these are the four the four legs of the table as it relates to advanced television.
Looking to this year ahead, what do you see as far as progress at Xandr, and more broadly progress around this advanced TV world that we've been discussing for so many years?
Yeah, 2021 it's no different for Xandr than it is for the rest of the industry. Is two major things. Is one is convergence. We spoke about that a little bit, and the other is data and measurement. So this convergence is a real thing right now, and we're seeing this with a handful of the various media companies, including one that is part of the Xandr family at WarnerMedia, putting a real focus on streaming offerings, recognizing that consumers are demanding change. The technology has positioned itself such that this has become a reality. This ends up flowing downstream to organizations within these media companies that are needing to needing to manage these changes, which sometimes means consolidation of teams, where traditionally there may have existed siloed digital sales and television sales. These teams are starting to come together, and even when these teams aren't necessarily coming together, they are certainly needing to work together and share data and collaborate, because they're both digital sales and television sales, when they are separate within a media company, are selling into the same client. So at the end of the day, holistic value delivered back to the agency or the client is critical.